Hello, in this video I'm going to go through the major differences between Canon camcorders in each category that are available in the market, either as brand new or used, that are relevant to current day's technology. The reason I chose Canon is because I believe Canon has a good quality sensor in terms of color accuracy and translating lights into digital signature in terms of colors, and it produces good color gradients and high quality low lights. Here are all the categories that I'm going through. The major differences, not going through every single details of them, starting with Canon Vixia HF S series, M series, R series, and G series, and eventually XA series, and mentioning some other XF series. I prepared from every corner of the internet, so it's very useful to find the differences at each model. On the left side column, there is a Canon camera model and the model number. They're usually variants on models. Hundreds usually means that there is no internal hard drive. You can extend this camera model and name to other variants, like HF100 will be HF10. There might be HF102 or 10 or 12. They have internal memory. Those are only differences. Just keep that in mind. And these are the major deciding factors that are listed here: sensor size, and it's in inches, and also the type of the sensor, HD CMOS, and the processor, Digic DV2, 3, 4. The stronger the processor is, the better, obviously, and has the higher power in terms of write speed, megabits per second. That also leads to higher resolution. And effective megapixels is the multiplication of 1920 by 1080. You get 2,000,000.07 pixels. That's the HD, and if there is more megapixel like this, it means that it has the ability to upscale. And filter diameters obviously could lead to size of the lens of the camera, which, obviously the larger the lens of the camera is, the captures more lights, it's better. And also it's kind of a size of the thread where you can buy filters around for that. Custom picture profiles are the one that you can manipulate how your data is kind of encoded into each frame of the camera. And this is a good option for some of the firmwares with this camcorder that lets you adjust the sharpness, white balance, and some of them are already as named in here. And at the end, the shooting modes are mentioned here. It indicates if the camera supports some sort of manual control over the shooting modes. It's very important. And starting from this camcorder, the cinema mode has a subcategory *2, which means the cinema mode can be combined with P, TV, and AV, and also manual mode then also can be used P, TV, AV, and also scene. Then scene itself can be subcategory to different scenes. When I display this datasheet, you can pause and read through it, and I'm not going to go through all the details, so it was just the explanation of that. So saying that, I'm going to start with the Canon HF100. It's a good HD camcorder. As the only shortcoming is that the processor is a little bit slower. It's at 17 megabits per second. The size of the sensor is almost third of an inch, and it's an HD CMOS RGB sensor. There are a lot of major differences. A major overhaul going to S series. Obviously, the size of the sensor, this one is almost half an inch. The type of the sensor is the same. The processor has been improved. It's Digic DV3. Now they can capture 24 megabits per second. Another major thing is the effective megapixel is 6 megapixels comparing to 2 megapixels, and only the focal length is a little bit smaller than previous one, and filter diameters and the rest of the stuff, as I mentioned above, you can follow that. And also it has a newer menu system in their firmware, and that's a S series, S100, S200, S300. They are identical, some minor differences. After S series, over a few months to 1.5 years, Canon released 3 different models: M series, which were closer to between prosumer and consumer; R series, which were more consumer level; and G series, which were more towards prosumer level. Moving on to M series models, major difference is in M400 and 4 series, where it started using HD CMOS Pro sensor. M3 series didn't have HD CMOS Pro sensor. Starting from M4 series, it has HD CMOS Pro sensor, which is a better sensor, higher quality. Each pixel has its own RGB colors. That's what they say. Each pixel is larger and captures better highlights, has better highlight performance, and it's overall I've also experienced that it has a very better quality. So it's a major difference between in this series between starting M40 and 400. Going on to M50, the difference between M40 and M50 is mostly the body design of M40. M4 series are a little bit more professional. They have two SDS cards, and also they have viewfinder, has more buttons. But the M50 and M500, they're saying their HD Pro sensor has 20% better low light. But HD CMOS Pro sensor is that the cinema mode has moved from a shooting mode into a camera mode, meaning that now as a camera mode, it could be combined with shooting modes like P, TV, AV, as you see in here. Cinema mode right now has its own subcategories, P, TV, and AV. Moving on to R series. R series are consumer level camcorders. The sensor that they have, it's regular HD CMOS sensor. It's not Pro, and that's a very big disadvantage in my opinion. And their sensor size is also 1/5 of an inch. So it's not performing, doesn't have high quality sensor, and also much smaller. So, put them together, then you'll see what you get is a very consumer level, only doing good in bright lights. One thing, the probably advantage they have is that they have a newer Digic DV4 from R4 series were added to these models. Another breakpoint in these models is that our R700, it has some Wi-Fi connectivity control. Again, it's very laggy, it's very slow. Another breakpoint would be R800, which has more effective megapixel. A little bit of upscaling could happen. Our models, they don't have any manual controls. They don't have AV, aperture value, TV time value, and no control over ISO or gain. It has cinema mode, again, just cinema mode standard, something usable. Other cinema mode variants are not very usable. There you have it. These are consumer camcorders from Canon available in the used market. And these are good for people who want to carry a compact camcorder, need a compact camcorder, and they're willing to spend something under $200. My suggestion is not to spend more than $300, $400, especially on this HFR series. I've seen there are many of them that are much expensive. If you want to spend over $400, $500, wait for my next video that I'm going to go through prosumer camcorders. And if you're willing to carry a little bit larger size camcorder, you got a lot more options to do that with that much money. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.